Howdy, howdy. We're back at Human Resource Machine. This is Mr. Potter, and we are going to year 13, the Equalization Room, or if you're Canadian, Equalization. Sometimes some numbers are bigger than other numbers, and sometimes they are the same. How can we know? I read about that here in this great book, Which Number Are You? For the Aspirational Zero. You can borrow it later. So, get two things from the inbox. If they are equal, put one of them in the outbox, discard non-equal pairs. Repeat, you've got comments. I've got this hello world, and if I wanted to, I can undo it and write a lot worse. So, hello. Yeah, I can't read. So we'll just get rid of that. So I need to find out if these are the same, and if they are, put one in the inbox, otherwise discard them. So I'm going to get something from the inbox and copy it to box 0. And then I'm going to get something from the inbox. That's going to be the next number. And I want to subtract it from box 0. And if it's 0, then we're going to get it from there and outbox it. And otherwise, we want to just jump. So if it's 0, we're going to do funky stuff. Otherwise, we jump. Probably need one more jump just to make this a nice loop. So let's see what's happening here. First thing I'm going to do is grab something from the inbox and put it in 0. Then get something else, subtract it. I got a 5, and that's not 0. So we go back to the beginning. I'm going to grab something from the inbox, put it in that space, grab something else, subtract it. I get a 0. So I'm going to get the 5 and put it in the outbox. That looks good. So let's see how this goes. Equalization real, 9 or fewer challenge. Got 9, awesome. And speed challenge. Oh, so close. That's interesting. I'm wondering if I can get that 28th. So one of the things I can do is I can click on these tabs to do something different. So let's see. I know I definitely need to get something from the inbox, copy it to some space, get something from the inbox, subtract it from here, and the problem with this jump if 0, I wish I had a jump if not 0. That's really what I want. Because at this point, I just kind of want to get lost. So let's see. If I do this, outbox, and then here, if I stick a jump to inbox, and if it's jumped to 0, I want to copy from 0 and then jump there. So the idea is that maybe putting it in a different order is going to give me a different result here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down to here just so I can get stuff from the inbox, put it in the spot, get the next thing, subtract it, and if it's 0, then I want to copy it to 0 and then jump to the outbox. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to getting input. So I get that, put it in box 0, get that, subtract. It is 0, so I copy it, and then I go to outbox. So the logic works. The question is, how many steps is that going to take? I'm wondering if I've just translated things around. I know I've got 10 commands now, so I'm going to fail there. And here, no, that didn't do what I wanted to. So I guess I'm going to have to come back for that speed challenge later. Let's go to the Maximization room, year 14. There's been a change of plans. The accounting department has determined that treating all numbers equally is no longer profitable. Management wants the big numbers only. So now I've got this jump if negative. So I'm going to get from the inbox and copy to 0. Get from the inbox. I have to keep a copy of this because this one may be the bigger one. So I have 1 in my hand. I can subtract 0. And if I get something that's negative, then I'm going to do something. If I get negative here, that means 0 was bigger. So I want to copy from 0 and outbox. At this step, I want to copy from 1 and then outbox. No, copy from 1 and outbox. And so I need to jump, and I'll need to jump. This gets us back to the thing. So let's try what this does. So first thing I do is I grab a 3, store it, grab the 9, store it. Now I have the 9 in my hand. I'm going to subtract 3. I get 6. Now because this is positive, 1 is bigger, so I'm going to skip the jump if negative. I'm going to copy from 1, put it in the outbox, and jump. Now I'm going to grab from the inbox 3, grab from the inbox -5, and I subtract. I have a -2. That's negative, so box 0 is my bigger value. -3 is a warmer temperature than -5. So the logic seems to work. And so size challenge 12, ew, and speed challenge 36. So again, I want to try this idea of dealing with the outboxes kind of all at the end. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm actually going to do here and do a jump here. Now it's still going to be 12. But I only have 1 outbox instead of having 2 outboxes. So I'm wondering if that will make a difference. It's the same logic. No, that's not the same logic at all. Oh, because... no. Idiot. That's what I need. No. I want to start by jumping in here. This is going to... yeah, let's try that now. 1 and 3. The 3 is bigger. The -9 is bigger. The 6 is bigger. The 8 is bigger. So yeah, these are a little bit more difficult to do efficiently. And yeah, I'm just not doing it efficiently right now. My best completed 36 steps, 12. So I guess putting that outbox up here just isn't the way to do it. Let's go ahead and clear that off. I don't care about that anymore. So I'm going to inbox and copy to 0, inbox, copy to 1, subtract 0. And if it's negative, we do stuff. Otherwise, we're going to copy from 1 and outbox. And then this is going to be copy from 0 and outbox. But I need to make sure that I jump. And I have to jump here, and I have to jump here. That's the 12 solution that I had first. That's the one that does 36 steps, not 37. That's just not doing what I'm expecting. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll have to think a little bit about that. Let's take a coffee break. And that, ladies. I wasn't expecting an ad break here, but we'll make it work. Back to work indeed. Oh, and the TV. Oops. Well, that's good, as long as the authorities are investigating. So let's move on. I've got the absolute positivity, or I've got the exclusive lounge. Well, these numbers are in order for a reason. Let's choose 16. Absolute positivity. Haha. Positive attitudes were determined to increase productivity, and now they are mandatory. Smile. Management is watching. Send each thing from the inbox to the outbox, but if a number is negative, first remove its negative sign. Okay. So I'm going to do an inbox. I'm going to jump if negative, and if it's negative, I want to copy it to box 0, and then I'm going to subtract it from itself. That'll make 0, and then subtract it from itself again. And then I can outbox it. And actually, all of this is going to be done if it's negative. If it's not negative, then I just outbox and quit. Go back to the beginning, and go back to the beginning. So here I'm kind of see what's going to happen. My first number here is 8. So I'm going to grab 8. It's not negative. Just send it to the outbox. Next thing I get is a negative 3. It is negative, so I put it on spot 0, and I subtract it from itself, and I get 0. And I subtract it from itself, and I have a positive 3. So now I can store that. So that seems to work the way I want it. And that looks good. Size challenge. Oh, just one short. But I got the speed challenge. Okay. So let's see what we can do with this size challenge. I have a feeling that these jumps are kind of redundant. So let's see. Jump if negative to here. And then jump to the beginning. So inbox, jump if negative. Just go to it and then start over. And I gotta copy it down at some point to manipulate it algebraically. And then I need to output and I need to jump. So again, if I had a jump if positive, that would be ideal. I'm curious. Let me get it from the inbox. Let me go ahead and copy it to box 0, and then subtract it, and then subtract it. And then if it's negative, then I want to copy from 0 and output. Otherwise, I just want to output. But no, I need to return at some point. So I'm curious. If I put a copy from 0, outbox, jump if negative up here, then jump here, and then at the very beginning, jump to the inbox. So let me explain my logic here. First thing I'm going to do is jump right to the inbox part. I'm going to copy it to 0, subtract 0, subtract 0. And if I do that, I'm going to get if I get a negative number, that means my number was positive to start. So I just copy the original number and put it in the outbox and then get the next number. If I copied it, subtracted, and it wasn't 0, then I just want to outbox it. So I think this might work as well. Let's step. Get the 8. Subtract, it's a negative 8. I don't want it, so I want to get my original and outbox it. Now I'm going to go with the negative 3. I subtract it, I get a positive 3. It's not what I wanted, so just outbox it. So I think that's giving me what I want. That gives me the 9 steps that I wanted, which is, 8 or fewer. Well, fiddlesticks. Yeah, and it uses a whole lot more stuff because I have to double subtract on each of them. Well, that's just screwy. Let's just move on. I'm just not doing very well right now, so let's go to the exclusive lounge, year 17. Yes, I've always felt comfortable with nice, cold, logical decisions. Emotional decisions are for the weak. So for each two things in the inbox, send a 0 if they're the same, send a 1 if they're different. Repeat until the inbox is empty. So, let's see. I get something from the inbox, and if it's negative, then I want to do stuff. But if I get to this point, it's positive. So I'm going to get something else from the inbox, and if it's negative, then they're different. But if I get to this point, they're the same, so I'm going to copy from 0, outbox, and jump back to the beginning. If I reach this spot here, then the first one's positive, the second one's negative, so I want to copy from this, outbox, and jump. Now if I reach this point here, that means that my first number was negative. Oh, that's horrible. So if my first number is negative, that means I'm going to get my second number, and if it is also negative, then I want a 0. So in this case, I'm going to... Actually, why don't I just... If it's this case, I want the 0. Just jump here. If I get to this spot, I want the 1. Jump here. So it's a lot of jumping around, but it's 14 steps. I don't know if I can do it easier. Let's go ahead and run through some steps. So the first number is 1. That's positive, so I go down here. I don't care about the 1. I want to assign. So the -8, it's negative. So because it's negative, they're different. I want the 1. Outbox it and go back. There's the 3. It's positive. The 9 is negative. I want the 1. I got the -1, so we jump to negative. Get the next number. It's not negative, so I want the 1. Then that's the same. And the thing is, it's always when I'm looking at an empty inbox that I move on. Size challenge, 12. 12, that's not going to work. Complete in 28 fewer steps, 29. Well, fiddlesticks. Let's try this once more. Let's try a different tab here. I know I want from the inbox. If it's negative, then inbox. And if it's negative, then they're different. So if I get to this point, they were both positive, I want the 0. And then outbox. And then start over. If I reach this point, the first was positive, the second was negative. So I want to copy from 5, outbox, jump. So now the question is, if I get, let's see, so inbox, jump if negative. So if I reach this point, then I need to inbox, jump if negative, and if I'm negative, I was negative, I am negative, jump to the 0. Otherwise, I just want to jump to the 1. So that's one step. Is that one step less? I'm still one step short. Because I need 12 commands. There's 13. And that's 29. I'm just not doing very well on these challenges. I guess that's why they call them challenges. So, Sabbatical Beach Paradise, year 18. Just take a deep breath. Watch the wheels roll on by. Pick up that tube. And I'll just take a long, slow drink of my cocoa. Seriously, who takes a year sabbatical? That is ridiculous. Alright. Well, I'm going to try one more. And we'll see how this goes. Yes, welcome back. What happened to my hair? Oh my goodness. Tick, tick, tick. Time keeps ticking down. Let's get to work. Oh, yes, I love what you've done with your hair. Alright, so each number in the inbox, send that number to the outbox followed by all the numbers down to or up to 0. It's a countdown. So I've got the add 1 or subtract 1 from an item. So this is the bump. So I want to get a number, copy it on the floor, and then if it's negative, then I want to bump up to 0. If it's positive, I want to bump down to 0. But either way, it goes to the outbox. So now I need to copy from 0. And if it's negative, I want to bump up that and do a jump if 0 to something I'm going to do later. If it's positive, then I want to bump down. If it's 0, do something. And then if it's not 0, go back to the bumping. If it's not 0, do the bumping. But down here, these are where I've jumped if it's 0. Well, I probably should be outboxing as well. Outbox jump. Now here, if it's 0, I want to outbox and actually I don't think I need that if I put the outboxes above the bump. But I do need to jump. So let's see how this is going to work. Okay, so the first thing I do, I grab the 3, I copy it down, I put the 3 on the outbox, I copy from 0, it's not negative, so I bump it down, outbox. Yeah, I'm going to need to... Okay. So I'm going to need to make sure I jump if 0, then outbox. Jump if 0, then outbox. But I need to make sure that all the numbers down to or up to 0. So I need 0. So I need another outbox, then jump. Okay, let's try it again. So get the 5, put the 5 down, bump, put the 4 down, bump, 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 bump. Down here, outbox the 0, jump, get the next number, put the next 6. Negative 6 goes on there, it's negative. Bump it up. Outbox. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 0. What? Wait a minute, what happened? Copy from 0. Okay, I had a 0. And I put the 0 on. Wait a minute. So I bump the -1, then I jump if it's 0. I want to outbox. Then I get the inbox. Oh, and I'm starting the bumping process. Oh, that's an issue. I really want to jump if 0, just immediately jump down to this outbox mechanism. Oh, after I get it from the inbox, yeah. All right, so 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Get the -2, bump it up, get the 0, -2, -1, and 0. And again, this is not efficient code. I have a feeling I'm going to have to go through these. Yeah, that's horrendous. Oh, goodness. Well, it's not too bad on the speed challenge. It's just that size challenge is horrendous. So I'm going to have to work on getting these a little bit more efficient. So we'll talk a little bit more about that next time. Once again, this is Mr. Potter. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.